With it being Thursday night, it's time for another edition of WVUA Law Call. Lynn Brooks and Josh Hayes have a preview of tonight's topic.
Well, more than 1.6 million people are in nursing homes all across the country. That leads us to tonight's topic of Law Call.
It does, and you know, it's a topic that unfortunately affects almost every family at some point or another. And Lynn, we've got a top secret guest tonight. So if you want to see who is sitting in that chair, you got to tune in.
We'll make them wait to find out.
Gotta wait.
Law Call coming up right after the newscast. Now back to the desk.
WVUA Law Call with news anchor and host Terry Brewer and guidance from Prince Glover Law, including the knowledge and experience of personal injury attorney Bob Prince. With over 25 years of legal and trial experience collecting millions of dollars for Alabama victims, attorney Matt Glover, a member of the prestigious $1 Million Advocates Forum, and legal insights and answers to your email questions from attorney Josh Hayes. WVUA Law Call. Your rights, your calls, live. Plus guests from across West Alabama. This is WVUA Law Call.
Hi there, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am Lynn Brooks, in for the vacationing Terry Brewer. Tonight's topic, nursing homes. So many of us trust our loved ones to the care of nursing homes, and a lot of people get great care. However, some people do not. That brings us to our topic. If you want to know more about the downside of nursing home care and what you can do if you think one of your loved ones is being treated unfairly, call us and let us know. The numbers to call tonight, 205-348-WVUA. That's 348-9882. The phone lines are open right now, and we are ready to go ahead and start taking your calls right now. So give us a ring right here on Law Call. But while we're waiting on you to call in with your questions, first a look at the docket for what's coming up in future weeks of WVUA Law Call. On July 5th, Religion and the Law. Then on July 12th, one of our favorites here on WVUA Law Call, Ask Us Anything. Then on July 19th, Hurt on the Job. These topics coming up in the future weeks of Law Call. Joining me now, Josh Hayes. Good to see you, Josh.
Thanks, Lynn. Glad to have you over on this desk tonight.
And you know, Terry Brewer's going to come back with a suntan, but we're going to let her take a little time off.
I guess she
I'll fill in for her.
A week every now and then, right?
Right. I will just try to fill the shoes as best I can. And you're filling the shoes of Bob Prince tonight.
I am.
Where is he?
Well, we may see in just a few minutes here. We've got a very good topic tonight, Lynn. It's such an important thing, nursing home negligence, and you probably gave it away, but Bob Prince is our guest. So welcome to the show, Bob.
A little hint.
Thank you for having me.
On the other side, this is the surprise guest we talked about at the end of the 6 o'clock news, Bob Prince. A topic that you're well schooled on, nursing home negligence.
I know some about it.
A little bit about it. We want to remind you also to give us a call, 205-348-9882. We'll be taking your calls live. While we're waiting on you to call, I have a couple questions about this. Nursing home negligence, it falls under medical malpractice. Not a lot of people realize that, right?
It does. It does. And you know, something we were talking about just a few minutes ago, that is one of the toughest acts in Alabama, one of the toughest laws that you can imagine. Makes it very hard to recover. And in fact, there aren't very many lawyers at all, are there, Bob, that handle this kind of work?
No. You know, and it's ironic, I guess, because what you see in the newspaper, you see all these publications about how lawyers are running doctors out of business with medical malpractice cases. In reality, Josh, there are very few, as you know, very few lawyers in the state of Alabama that take them. And in Tuscaloosa, same thing. They're so expensive and so difficult to win.
Let's go ahead and take a phone call. Norman from Tuscaloosa. Norman, welcome to Law Call.
Good evening, man.
Hi,
I enjoy your show.
Thank you.
And my question is, I've been dealing with family members being in nursing homes for 10 years. My wife's in an assisted living place in Tuscaloosa. And I was informed this week that my benefit is with Medco, and I order the prescriptions, that I had to order them locally and get them individually wrapped now. And is implied that there's a new state law that was going to require that. Are you familiar with that?
A state law?
Yeah, I am not familiar with that there's a state law that requires that, but it very well could be. The pharmacists here are very knowledgeable. I don't know which one you're using, but generally they can answer that question about, you know, why is medication different? Why is it packaged a certain way? And just point blank ask them, what are the new regulations, if any? Why are y'all changing this on me?
Another caller on the line right now. Bob from Tuscaloosa, what's your question?
Yes, I'd just like to know how you go about filing such a complaint. Would you go through the nursing home? Maybe they'd have an office there. Would you just go directly to a lawyer?
Good question. Do you go to the folks at the nursing home, or should you just pick up the phone and go ahead and call an attorney?
Well, I think it really depends, Lynn, on what the complaint is. I mean, if it's just a minor situation, and by that I mean if somebody hasn't died or hasn't, suffered a fall and broken a bone or something, I would probably just file it with the nursing home. They are governed by the Department of Public Health in Alabama, and they keep files on nursing homes, and they come in and inspect them, and so your complaint will not go unnoticed. Now, if it's bad enough, then obviously you need to contact a lawyer, and what will happen will be the lawyer gets the records from the nursing home and reviews them or has them reviewed by another specialist, and if it warrants it, then a suit may be filed, but they're very rare.
Hard to get those records from time to time, isn't it, Bob?
Yes, the nursing homes, I mean, who wants to be sued? And once they get sued a couple of times, and then it gets to be very difficult to get those records. They make you, in fact, we got some records recently in a case, and they made us go through the lawyer in Birmingham to get the records. It took like months to get them, but we finally did get them.
So if the word is go ahead and try first with the nursing home.
It depends on
try to work with them first.
Depends on the incident, but yes, I mean, if it's bad enough, then it wouldn't do any good to just try to get them to correct it. But.
And we actually have had some pretty bad cases in this area in terms of instances of neglect in nursing homes.
We have, fortunately, in the West Alabama area, we're pretty good. Our nursing homes and our independent living, assistant living are very good. We're not without incidents, though. I mean, nobody's perfect. Most of the bad cases have been in Alabama, have been in North Alabama and South Alabama for some reason, around Mobile, and there was a particularly bad case in North Alabama where some fire ants got on a lady and I believe killed her.
Oh my goodness. We have another caller on the line with us live, Randy from Tuscaloosa. Thanks for being with us. Randy, what's your question?
Why is it these days that when you go into your doctor's offices and you definitely have medical problems, whether it be arthritis, bones, or things that are causing you pain or discomfort or mental conditions, why are doctors so quick not to write you prescriptions and tell you that when they write you a narcotic prescription, a red flag will go up and they'll be investigated, so they are reluctant to prescribe you medication to save their own reputation.
Right.
So they don't have to go through the hassle of being investigated. I mean, so they're putting their sales before the patient.
Physician being a little too reluctant to give you what you need.
Right. I guess as a guest, I get to sort of monopolize the conversation. I'm not used to this.
In the hot seat.
Yeah. Well, you're correct. A doctor or a physician should not think of himself first. Unfortunately, some physicians have been accused and convicted of prescribing too many narcotic prescriptions to family members, relatives. We've had some, pretty bizarre cases about it. So what happens is the state narcotics officers, it is a red flag if a doctor is prescribing too much of the same medication. But now, on the other hand, you've got a legitimate complaint because, your relative or you should not be sacrificed. You shouldn't be in pain because the doctor's worried that he's going to be investigated. I think I would ask him straight up about that, and if I didn't feel comfortable with it, I might change doctors, physicians.
Really? Just go ahead and come out there and ask?
Sure.
Would something like that fall under medical malpractice, not giving you the medication that you feel that you need? Would that fall under those same guidelines?
This is going to be hard for people to understand, probably. I hope not. But, Lynn, any action against any health care provider, whether it's a physician, hospital, nursing home, you name it, if they do health care, it's falling under the Malpractice Act. And it is a very restrictive act. It's more strict than any other act that I know of in terms of suing somebody for a wrong. So it's difficult.
What are some of the things that make it tough to go along that route?
Good question, Josh. I think the first and foremost thing is, for years now, that act has required an expert witness in a case. Not only an expert witness, but let's say an orthopedic surgeon messes up.